Okay, it's Storm's Live time. Sunday night, 10 o'clock. And here we go. Sunday night and it's 10 o'clock. It's Storm's Live time. So let's rock. Rob Storm is who we be. He's joined by Adam Unzo and me. Yeah, once a week we bring the heat. When you hear us speak, chemistry's unique. We talk about this, we talk about that. And if you got a question, leave a super chat. Rob's here, so here we go. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Storm's Live, Robert Storm, comment chat, Anzo and Adam. Don't miss it. 10 o'clock, Sunday nights, Storm's Live. Peace.
Oh, fuck. Well, fuck that up. All right. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love how it opened with like a choose your fighter screen.
Yeah. Hello.
Loud and clear.
Hello.
Loud and clear.
I can't hear my own voice back though. I don't know. It's weird.
You turn the volume up a little bit.
I hear if I do that, it's too loud for you guys.
But you got your connection up. Make sure they plug. A lot of times if my headphone ain't plugged right, can't hear you in the back.
Testing. Okay, there we go. All right. So what's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing? Britt said she isn't feeling good, so she's not going to make it this week.
Okay.
Hope she feels better.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what I told her to.
She ain't got the COVID, does she?
I hope she doesn't have the COVID.
Yeah. That's a lot of people getting it that second time around.
Yeah, a lot of people at my job is getting it.
Got a couple officers out. My wife had it 2 weeks ago. Luckily, I dodged that bullet.
You're not vaccinated, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you are? Well, if you did happen to get it, it wouldn't be as bad for you. I mean, it's not good either way.
Yeah, I'm contemplating getting that booster. I just hadn't pulled the trigger on that yet, but maybe a possibility.
Oh, yeah, the booster. Yeah, I had people ask me if I was going to get it. I'm like, nah, I'll take my chances with COVID. I'll take my chances. I don't want to get it. Why the hell do I have the TV control over here? I'm all over the place, man. I thought I was better set up than this, and apparently I'm not. And my computer chair is about to break, so if I fall on my ass, well, I'll be live. So no iced coffee. I actually just got done finishing my iced coffee. So instead I have this that was just left over in the refrigerator. But to make you feel better, I did have iced coffee literally 5 minutes ago before the
Burger King makes iced coffee. They call it the Mocha Joe.
Yeah, but here's my problem with
that shit is delicious.
It's good, but it feels more like I'm drinking chocolate milk than iced coffee.
Yeah, it's sweet. Now it got a lot of chocolate in it. I think they put a lot. You kind of heavy handed on the chocolate syrup sometimes.
Yeah. The Dunkin' Donuts introduced Chris popped in. Dunkin' Donuts introduced a butter pecan iced coffee, and I love it, man. I get 3 of them every weekend.
Oh, there's an ice cream I found at one of these ice cream parlors called Cappuccino Crunch, and it's coffee based with chocolate, and I want to think some kind of nuts in it. Oh,
I fucking love nuts, man. I want nuts all over my mouth.
No, I ain't saying all that now. I'm not saying all that.
You don't have to say that. I'm saying it.
No.
On another note, Chris's top 3. Chris, go.
Top 3 of what?
I don't fucking care. Anything to get rid of that conversation.
I ain't joking. I ain't lying. Tell you, it's just totally just.
You're having an innocent conversation about coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got nuts all over our mouth. What the fuck?
And then it was nuts.
You know what phrase coming next?
Tiffany made some. She's for the past couple weekends she's been making muffins, and I told her she made banana muffins, and she makes everything from scratch. So this weekend I told her, I'm like, hey, if you're gonna make some banana muffins, do me a favor, add some nuts in those. I like nuts. She's like, you like nuts? I'm like, I like nuts all in my throat.
Oh my god!
Right. and her sister's boyfriend comes in. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, man, don't touch my nuts. He's like, no, man, that's all you. I'm like, that's right, man. Those nuts are in my mouth, sir.
Oh my god! What a sick puppy you are.
That's fucking awesome.
He's
my best friend.
on a darker humor level, if you would think my mom passing away on Monday wasn't the worst thing that could happen, I watched Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Somebody told me it was pretty good.
That's pretty worse. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I stood up late. I binged the whole thing yesterday, and I stayed up late last night. I couldn't really sleep, and I was like, I'm gonna write my review because I have a lot to say about this, and I want to talk about the previous movies and stuff, and so I wrote my review, but I don't think my review came off as like upset as I actually am about that show. Here's the thing with the show. It's actually not a bad show. It's just not a Resident Evil anything.
Don't give away anything.
We won't, but I will say, okay. No. I agree with Rob in the sense that as its own thing, it's perfectly serviceable. It's serviceable entertainment. Okay. You can watch it to kill 8 hours, whatever, if you need to kill 8 hours for whatever goddamn reason. All right. But as Resident Evil, it fucking blows. Like and I'm sorry, the notion, okay, these motherfuckers, the creators, had the nerve. They had the fucking audacity to come online and say that this is canon with the fucking game. Get the fuck out of here. This shit's canon with the games, okay? No. Never mind the fact that, okay, listen. Never mind the fact that, okay, that Wesker's black in this and he's white in the games, okay? That's the least of the fucking continuity problems, okay? Fucking, how the fuck is Raccoon City being nuked, okay, just covered up the fuck out of nowhere? How the fuck are you saying that James Marcus is the founder of Umbrella when we know goddamn well it's Oswald Spencer?
Marcus,
okay, there's a million.
Marcus is like, y'all
one of them, but it was Oswald fucking Spencer who created Umbrella, not James Marcus. Like they say in the show.
I stayed up and did a lot of research on this shit last night, more than I wanted to research this fucking series.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I hate to say this, and I don't care. I'm going to say this. You can't in one breath say that this is canon to the video games, and then in the next breath make Wesker black. I don't care if you make Wesker black, but don't say it's canon to the
canon with the games. No, I feel the same way. If this was its own thing, just another adaptation, you made Wesker black, I'd be fine. I did not care that they made Jill Valentine black in the last movie.
Let me ask you
so I don't care.
Can canon have a dual explanation? Let's say maybe the characters are not what they say they are, but the story is exactly like it is in the game.
But I can't say too much because Chris is still watching it, so I can't give away any.
No, I'm just asking about anything.
Episode 7, a lot of shit goes down and a lot of shit explains, but even the explanation, they're going with the video game canon. Like they even talk about, like in episode 2 or 3, they're like, well, shit, I can't say that either because that's a spoiler for the show. But if you played the video games, Wesker dies in a volcano in Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
They mentioned that. So it's canon to the video games, but Wesker is white. So I'm
in
like,
the games.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're going to explain something. And maybe it's like he genetically altered himself into another body and is black. But
that would have been fine.
Yeah, but they didn't do that. That is Wesker. Right? And so here's the thing. If they would have said, hey, this takes place in the game universe, but we're going to follow these separate characters that you never see in the games, but it's going to be in that universe. All right, cool. But they go out of their way to do something like, how the hell are you going to nuke a city and it's perfectly fine to live in? Like we're gonna rebuild a new city. The air is fine and everything. You know,
no,
there's no radiation in the air.
Of course not. You think those assholes at Chernobyl knew what the fuck they were talking about?
and then the fucking the show takes place after the events of Resident Evil 5. Obviously, it takes place in 2022, present day. And where was I going with this, Rob? Where was I going with this? I was literally going somewhere with this, and I totally like blanked out on. Oh yeah, after the events of Resident Evil 3, Umbrella collapsed. Like they financially went bankrupt.
So how are they alive here? Like how are they around?
Yeah. And it was it was a whole thing, man. I thought they did these two different storylines where they had the kids and then the future storyline. I thought the kids storyline was more compelling. Because I'm like, well, I want to know what this mystery shit of this new Umbrella shit. Like I was compelled on
do you know why? Do you know why the stuff with them was more compelling? Because stuff actually happened to them.
Yeah, in the future,
and nothing else.
In the future, we're just running around for no reason, you know.
Yeah.
But although that chick is fucking hot.
Oh, Ella Balinska?
Yeah, she was in the Charlie's Angels reboot.
Angels, she was hot there too. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was like gorgeous. So I liked watching it just for that. But overall,
I'd smash her. I'd break her combo any night.
Now, I'm going to say something.
How many episodes are you on?
I'm only halfway in the second episode right now.
Oh, so, Jeremy John stopped that.
I just started it. I just, because I was like, should I give it a go? Because I've heard both of you guys. You know, I've seen y'all on Facebook and everything. Now, I've never played the fucking video games. All I know.
Then you're not going to care.
All I know is from what I have seen in the previous movies, which
you're not going to care. That
I only watched 1 and 2 of the originals. That is it. So I'm looking at it as it's a zombie show, and from what I've seen so far, it looks fine. I'm all right with it. The first episode was enough to captivate me into the second, even though I almost turned it off with the fucking big worm.
Oh,
but then I remembered
the gravedigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, all right, I forgot. This is a virus that infects even animals and shit like that and mutates them. I forgot that that's what Resident Evil is.
Well, no, I have to say this. Okay, I do give it points for including the gravedigger and the giant spiders. I give it that. I give it them points, but that's it.
So I did see just a brief part of it in the trailer. So
yeah,
but I liked it so far from what I've seen out of the first episode. Yeah. Second episode's got me still captivated a little bit. So I'm gonna probably give it a go. But again, this is coming from somebody who doesn't know the games.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel that they're aiming at.
Then they should call it something else then.
Yes.
That's my only thing.
I don't think canon is absolute. I think let's say, for instance, you do the story of Dragon Ball Z, and the story is just like we've seen it, but they decided to change the character to Irish or something. As long as his name is Goku, he get the same pop, everything else except his race is different or his sex is different. I think it's still canon as long as the story is true.
That's not the definition of canon.
I just looked it up. I don't see nothing about absolute.
Definition of canon is if Adam has a mustache in this thing, tomorrow he better have a mustache or an explanation where the fuck his mustache went.
Yeah.
You can't be white in a video game and then be black in the show and say it's the
same universe. It's the same universe. It's the same character. Not. No.
It's not. It's impossible.
I looked up. I didn't see nothing about it gonna be absolute. As long as the stories are the same.
But they're not. By definition, they're changing it. If you say something is canon and you change something, by definition, it can't be no longer canon.
You're breaking canon.
Unless you have an explanation for that. If they explain like, hey, Wesker's black because X, Y, and Z, then I'm like, okay, well, at least they explain
it. It could be a dumb explanation. I don't care. Just something.
I even asked Cody. I'm like, hey, like I know because Cody's seen this way ahead of everybody because he got review codes for it and he reviewed it and he was pretty he said pretty much what me and Adam said. Like it's good, it's decent, but it's not Resident Evil. And I messaged him, my personal message. I'm like, hey, I know they said this is canon with the game. Do they explain why Wesker's black? And he's like, no, they just kind of pretend like
he's black now.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not how you do that. Then it's not canon. It's not. Yeah. Now if they explain why, then it can be canon, regardless of what the explanation is. Oh, Baby Yoda showed up. Baby Yoda. He got a really deep tan. Yeah.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Fighting a horn monster, Baby Yoda. But look, I'll be honest. I kind of feel the same way about this show. Even less so, but kind of the way I do about the first Resident Evil movie. Whereas if I would not hate this if you just called it something else.
I like the first Resident Evil movie, and I defend that Resident Evil movie to my dying breath. In fact, in my written review,
not a good Resident Evil movie.
I bring up that first Resident Evil movie, and at that time, when Paul W.S. Anderson wrote that movie, there was no backstory prior to the mansion. Resident Evil 0 did not come out until the same exact year of that movie, so there was no prior backstory. So Paul W.S. Anderson's interpretation of what happened leading up to the events of Raccoon City is perfectly fine for that one isolated movie. Now, I will not go defend all the other movies. I'm just talking about that first
I thought you liked Apocalypse over the first one.
Except that the breakout, except that the outbreak happens completely different in the movie than it does in the games.
I mean, we don't know what happens with the breakout. Because she passes out, and then the events of the first game happens, and then she wakes up. So the events of the first game still happens in that first movie. And as for Apocalypse, when I was younger, I did like it, and then I rewatched it again recently, and nah.
I still love the first one. The first one is one of my favorite zombie movies. It just is. I just love that movie. Apocalypse felt too video game-ish to me, so therefore that's probably the reason why I didn't really take to that one, but it's still watchable compared to the rest of that fucking series.
Like me, okay. The first Resident Evil movie, if you'd called it Alice in Zombieland, I'd be like, okay, this is one of the coolest Alice in Wonderland friggin' things I've ever seen. Okay, I would love this. But you're calling it Resident Evil, and you're still throwing in all this Alice in Wonderland shit, and I'm just sitting here like, why is this here? Why do I care? Tell a fucking story, please.
They told a wonderful
Why do
story.
I care?
It was much better than that bastardization of Welcome to Raccoon City.
My God. You are out of your damn mind, sir, but we will agree to disagree and move on.
I mean, hey, if you
out of your goddamn mind, sir.
If you like the foreign India Pakistani and dollar store version of Resident Evil, then be my guest. That's what that movie is.
Okay, so what's wrong? What's wrong with the Raccoon City then? Because Adam likes it, you don't. What's so bad about it?
If you put up a picture, it looks like Resident Evil, right? It looks like Resident Evil. They got all the characters. They're all dressed the same. They got the mansion. They got the police department. Here's the thing, though. That's all you see. Yes, the characters look like the characters, but other than Chris and Claire,
they combined events of the first and second game into one night.
But not only that, none of the characters other than Chris and Claire act like their characters. Like I'd rather have the Black Wesker from the series than home bro. I'm a fucking weightlifter jock Wesker, and then Jill Valentine. Oh, Wesker, I want to suck your dick, and I'm like, what am I doing? And Leon, who's a fucking dumbass coward, I'm like, what are we doing? And then you go to the police station, but it looks cool when you get in there, and then everything else looks like it's filmed in the back of a Walmart. And then they combine two storylines that should be their own movies into one sloppy ass movie.
Because I haven't watched that one yet, so.
I mean, drink some alcohol, you'll be fine.
Wow.
All right, let's get to Miss Marvel because Danny's like, we need to talk about something, man.
Oh no, I'm just listening, bro.
Oh no, I'll be Danny this time because I haven't anything of Miss Marvel.
Oh, you can give your opinion on the mutants. So I got into an argument Friday with a YouTuber on Facebook, like yelling, and I ended up blocking him. Right. I did this video on Friday, right? And I spent a lot of time on this video, right? And then he messages me, he goes, well, it's a good video, but I disagree with you saying that they made Miss Marvel a mutant because of low ratings. And I said, I never said I made Miss Marvel. I never said they made Miss Marvel mutants because of low ratings. Like, that doesn't even make sense. The show was filmed a year ago. How do they know the low ratings?
Yeah.
And he plays me a clip, right? And I'm like, well, in that video, I said they had plenty of opportunities to introduce mutants. I figured the best part would be introduced, and WandaVision would make more sense. Yet they decide to introduce mutants in Miss Marvel, which has low ratings because of Obi-Wan and lack of interest. He's like, see, you said it. I'm like,
that's not what he said.
I said,
you twisted his words.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I never said because of low rating. Like, you're leaving out the because word, you idiot. And then he's like, well, you worded it wrong. I'm like, you fucking idiot. You just don't understand English. I didn't say because. I was pissed, dude. I went off on this motherfucker, man.
Okay, look, and I'll be honest. First of all, Ms. Marvel, probably my second favorite of the shows behind Loki. So, really loved the show all around. Loved the main character, Kamala Khan, very charming character. As far as the mutant thing, okay, look, I've made my peace on that several times. You guys know where I stand on that. Okay, I think it's ridiculous to have the MCU here. I mean, if you do not the MCU, the fucking mutants here in the MCU, because again, even if you want to pull the fucking, multiverse fucking alternate reality bullshit out of your ass in one of these future movies, okay, the fact is that's a lot of fucking MCU history you're rewriting to fit the fucking mutants in there.
But they're always rewriting
because even if you want to say, okay, well, the mutants have old. Really, they were hiding when all this other fucking world-shattering shit was going down.
But
that don't make no goddamn sense.
But here's the thing: we know in real life why they couldn't introduce the mutants. So
I understand that.
Now they have to write and explain why. They're constantly rewriting stuff in the MCU to try to make it fit. Perfect example. Fucking God Butcher's going for the Eternity thing to make a wish. Why didn't Thanos do that instead of collecting the Infinity Stones?
Yeah.
Why didn't the Avengers do that instead of, if Thor knew about it, why didn't Thor go do that instead of going time travel? So yeah. The problem is when you're writing a continuing story, you're always going to run into these, well, why didn't they do this? Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to do what you can do, because for the first 7, 8, 9 years of the MCU, Fox owned the mutants. So obviously, with their main characters like Tony and Cap gone now, the mutants have always been Marvel's big comic book sellers. It's Spider-Man, the Hulk, and the X-Men. So now they got to introduce them some way. Regardless of how it fits in, they had no other choice but to try to fit it in.
Again, my way of doing it, okay, would have just been, okay, here's the easiest fucking explanation. You have the multiverse now. You have the means of which to open the multiverse. Put the X-Men in their own fucking universe. You can easily have the fucking Avengers cross over there, or vice versa. This is the easiest explanation ever.
That gets too sloppy, in my opinion.
It's going to be even sloppier trying to shoehorn them into the fucking MCU
now. I don't know, man. I don't entirely agree with that statement. I see where you're coming from. I don't agree with it.
Either way, it's going to be sloppy as shit. It's just one route seems easier.
To me, it would make.
They're going to do what they're going to do.
To me, it would make more sense of two things. Something happened that caused mutation to activate, or the mutants have been here and they've just been on the down low, I'm fine with either one of those explanations.
There's a mutation.
He said mutation. He didn't actually say she was a mutant. He just said there was a mutation.
There's a mutation. Yeah, dude, they had the X-Men guitar string in the background.
I think they did that. That could have been for her. That could have been like.
No, the director came out and confirmed. The director came out and confirmed later that day that she is in fact a mutant. Not that she's part of the X-Men. That part has not been confirmed.
No,
but she has been confirmed that she is is a mutant.
Yeah,
I don't think they're in this universe, because the same way when her dad told her what the name meant, her name meant, and she said, "I'm freaking named after Carol Danvers." I think if she would have known, if the X-Men would have been in this universe, when Bruno would have said, I looked at your blood, there's mutations. She'd been like the X-Men or something like that. She didn't say that. So I don't think that leads me to believe that the X-Men are not in this particular universe. Now that we get
I don't think the X-Men has been I think I don't think the X-Men has been established yet, because that was true. Just like you would have said, she would have been like, I'm like an X-Men. I think mutants are not on the radar, so to speak.
No,
which means the X-Men I don't believe is established unless the X-Men are sort of like doing like a Men in Black, like very, very quiet stuff. That's
maybe Charles is blocking everybody's mind.
That's probably something they could do too.
With Cerebro.
Big Osho says, I miss phase 1. Keep up the great work. I think phase 2 was the best phase out of all of them.
Yeah, this phase and Thor Love and Blunder is the worst movie I've seen.
You call it Thor Love and Blunder?
Yeah.
Thor Love and Blunder.
Thor Love and Blunder hurt. That was terrible.
A lot. It dropped 68% at the box office this weekend.
I said in my original video that before the 45 day, I don't think it's going to make $500 million. I would be really shocked.
It already made over $500 million.
What? That's what I saw. It was 400.
No, it's like 750 million right now.
What?
Yeah, I'll bring it up on screen for you.
That is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying the fact that the series, all the series that we're getting, that it's what's bringing down actually phase 4, because we're used to getting nothing but just the movies. So therefore we're getting
712
periodically.
Jesus Christ.
How? Oh my God. Well, because it's Thor, I guess.
I looked at it 2 days ago and it was like 400 something.
That's because they didn't update the weekend box office. Weekend always have it,
So it's close. It might hit $1 billion at this rate.
It won't hit $1 billion because it dropped 68% this past weekend. But
nothing. What's the next thing coming out MCU? Like 3-4 months from now?
Black Panther in November.
Dude, I seen a leaked picture of Black Panther. Dude, it does not look good, man.
Dude, okay, what? Is the entire movie just going to be a funeral? Like, what the fuck?
I got a leak storyline of it here.
Yeah,
I said to Rob. Do you see it, Chris?
Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't even seen the whole.
What is it?
The after credit scene with Dr. Doom and everything. I'm like,
it's pretty much saying that there's some scientists and she's digging around, and I think earthquake or something happens.
Not but Riri, Ironheart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her team is digging around somewhere, and they're going to disturb Atlantis, and Namor is going to kill them, and then he's going to ask Wakanda for help, and they refuse him. Then some strange illness kills T'Challa, and then Shuri is making some kind of artificial heart-shaped herb to try to get to the ancestral plane.
Mm-hmm.
And she does. Killmonger is there instead of T'Challa, and then he shows her how to become Black Panther. Then she comes back, and I think her mom dies, and then she comes back, and
her and Ironheart defeat Namor and Atlantis.
Yeah, Ironheart creates
Wakanda versus Atlantis, and then
I'm fine with Shuri being Black Panther.
I'm going to say something that I was totally against when it first was brought up, and now I changed my mind. When I said that they should not recast T'Challa, I changed my mind. They should have just recast T'Challa, because I seen Campia talk about this. How are you going to have a Black Panther movie and
without Black Panther?
Yeah, your main character is dead because you killed him off instead of recasting. And I'm just like, the more I think about it, I think it would have been more. It would have paid more respect to what Chadwick Boseman did.
This is what they're gonna do, Rob. In the comic book, she was the Black Panther for a short run.
Yeah.
This leak said that Black Panther's girlfriend, I can't think her name, is having a son.
Had a baby boy.
And I guarantee you,
I'm willing to bet it was before the events of the snap, and he's going to be older now.
Mm-hmm.
So next time we see Black Panther 3, that's going to be the recast.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll see Black Panther 3 in what, 20 years?
Yeah.
We don't know how much time going to pass.
Is that fucking kid up?
So wait till he's 16, then.
The same way we saw in Thor, we saw Heimdall's son. I guarantee that we see Thor.
All the kids now.
he'll be grown up and shit. He may be the defender of the Rainbow Bridge, whatever the hell like Heimdall was.
You've heard of Black Panther. Now get ready for Black Kitty Cat.
Black Kitty Cat. I don't know, man. I got faith. I got faith in Ryan Coogler. It just I gotta be honest, man. Marvel in general, I'm kind of losing. Like, I used to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Well,
Rob, a little bit, but I think this movie gonna take a hit, but they find the right Black Panther recast, so to speak. I think that they could bring this particular storyline back up. They're just gonna find the right person to be next Black Panther. You can't be no Joe Schmo or no kind of schmuck. You got to be of like Chadwick Boseman caliber, in the same neighborhood of Chadwick Boseman. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
As far as having faith in Ryan Coogler goes, I don't know, man. I've seen Space Jam 2.
He didn't direct that.
He produced it.
Yeah, but
he was the head producer on it, dude. He's the one who got it made.
Man, you know as well as I do how producers work. A lot of times they're producers in name only, man.
Yep. LeBron James, LeBron James, baby, there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was LeBron. That was all LeBron James, man. Yeah. That was just Ryan Coogler's name behind it.
Yeah, that was LeBron trying to say.
Then LeBron came out and said, "Oh, the movie bombed because people are racist." Like, no, the movie bombed because it sucked.
Movie bombed because that was an awful fucking movie.
Speaking of racism, have you guys been hearing about this Ripple Universe comic?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I saw him on. He was on Dark Council last Wednesday.
Yeah,
that thing I sold about 2 million copies.
Yeah,
I heard this going.
So this black comic book creator has created this comic book universe called the Repa Universe, and he said in his he set up a Kickstarter and he said, I am tired of DC and Marvel making characters female or making characters color just for a statement. He's like, I'm tired of it. He's tired of the social politics in comics. He's like, this is a comic about stories and stories only. And he made this whole campaign that it's not going to be any SJW, no LGBTQRWXYZ. Like, it's just a comic. Dude made over 2 million on his Kickstarter, like in no time. And like, all these comic book like creators are like bashing him and stuff. Like, oh,
clap.
So I haven't backed it, but when it does get released, I am gonna pick up the first issue. I'm gonna read it, because I want to see what the fuck he does with it.
Listen, there's a way to do it naturally in comics where you like have let's say you want to have a gay character. Okay, there's a way to do it naturally, and then there's a way to force it the fuck in there, aka Iceman,
aka Spider-Man.
Yeah, like just fucking bullshit.
Dude, I went to a comic shop today.
Superboy's gay now, apparently. What the fuck was that?
Oh, I've been to that one.
That's old news there.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago. Yeah, I went to the comic shop today. I went to 2 different comic shops today. Just because I wanted to, just keep my mind off of stuff. So I went to a comic shop. And I'm looking at the wall. And dude, there's comment like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? Like Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I'm like, when the fuck did Ben Reilly come back? Like, what the hell is going on?
You just had the loop for too long, son.
people still buy comics?
You don't have your Marvel Unlimited subscription still?
No, I canceled that a while ago.
I still got that, man. That's one of the best subs I ever had, because if I want to get back anything, I don't have to worry about going and trying to find it. I can just thumb through it, type in the name. Voila.
And what made me sad was when I went to one of these comic shops, the Coliseum by Millennia, and when I seen like all these comics I had, and they're going for like thousands of dollars now, and I'm like, man, I had all those fucking books, man. Like, why the fuck are they going for this much money now? Like, this is ridiculous. The comic bubble is gonna bust at some point. These movies are pushing these prices up. When that bubble busts, a lot of people are gonna be sitting on some books that aren't gonna be worth shit.
Mm-hmm. And what's happening is things that they see in those books are causing it to go up. Because I remember when Cap caught Moonir.
Yeah.
About a month before that, the book was maybe $3. Shit. Then when they saw that, It's like $100. I'm like, really?
When the first appearance of Thanos, Iron Man number 55, was only worth like $40. Soon as that first Avengers movie came out and Thanos had an end credit scene, that book shot up to $300-$400. Now that book is like $1,000. It's just it's because of the damn movies. The bubble is gonna bust. The bubble's gonna bust on it.
I'll give about 4 or 5 more years. Then it's gonna be like, oh, help me.
Just like the first appearance of Miles Morales, it's way up there.
Yeah, and I bought that off the shelf, like that. I bought like 3 copies of that off the shelf, and now it's like a highly priced comic book now.
First run?
Yeah,
the first one of them. Yeah.
Because I had a subscription. I had every Spider-Man. I had first appearance of Spider-Gwen, first appearance of Superior Spider. Like I got them off the shelf, and now all those books are going for hundreds of dollars, and it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. I was going through some of my comics today. I got home. I bought a short box. I needed a short box, and I was going through the little bit of comics that I had left, and I was like, man, I didn't even know I still had some of this stuff. So.
Yeah, that was the last ones I ever got. Was the first Gwen, the first Spider-Gwen, the first Miles Morales.
Dude,
I got
the first issue of Lady Thor. I had like 4 copies of that. I bought it for like $2.99 when it came out. Man, they had that bitch $150 on the wall. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Like, are we serious right now?
See, that's what I do when I go in there. I look at the wall. I'm like, I got that one, and I look and see how much they're selling them for.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I looked at Tiff. I'm like, I can't. Part of me like kind of wants to get back into comics, but I don't want to get involved with all that mess and shit now.
If you got a room dedicated for it, I think you're something wise. But
yeah, if I had a house,
and
like a basement or an attic, then sure. But like
my thing is, I mean, I got some of them over there in that case, for the statues I have in there, because like I said, for me they're more sentimental. But I hate the fact they're in long boxes. The only way I look at them is if I bring them out and look at them.
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that you don't see them. You collect it, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
You gotta have a big ass room to get dedicated to pin all that stuff on the wall, or however you're gonna do it, display it. Most people just don't have that unless it's like serious hardcore. I got a box of mine up in my closet where I keep it at. My wife was like, "We're running out of space, Danny." So,
well, now me, I bought a tablet last year. The tablet's a nice size tablet. It's like a comic book size. And if I want to read comics, I'll either get Marvel Unlimited or I'll buy something digital on Comixology. That way, if I want to go back and read it, I'll just it's this big. It's not taking up a whole room. It's just one tablet, And I don't go back and reread a lot of comic books. It's like movies. Like I don't really go back and rewatch a lot of movies anymore. So I don't really do that with comic books. So yeah, I think my tablet Marvel Unlimited is
what's good about
fine.
digital. If you got like you discussing something you want to know a fact, you can go to the comic book and look and see if you're gonna make an argument about something that happened. Then that's a very easy way to go back and research it versus pulling out all those books, going through each one. Because I think it was one of those Iron Man comic books where he went back in the past and he was talking about the same thing that happened in Endgame. I was like, this is where they got this from. They're using source material. Because he uses some of the same terminology that the Hulk used. That band he put around his head. We call it the time, whatever they call it, the bracelet, whatever. Yeah, but all that was in a comic book. So it was very cool to see that they did in fact use source material to craft that story. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is what I got to read comic books on now.
Yeah,
perfect.
Okay. See, that's how if I want to.
This is what I got right here, my phone. Just hit that Marvel app. Scroll right through it.
Stories I want to look up, I'll look them up and read it.
Yeah.
You can sling it to your TV, then you can watch the whole thing on your TV. That's even better.
I when I sold my comic books, I wanted to I was like, man, I really miss my He-Man comics I sold. So I rebought them. You can buy them in the trades for like $5 and get like the first whole set of it for $5, and I just reread them on there.
I was in Walmart the other day and I went down to toys and saw the old He-Man. I think it was Buzz. One of the masters named Buzz something. I thought about Rob. I started to call you and say, "You got this action figure? I know you collect them. You still collect the He-Man action figures?"
I have the first 8 in storage.
First run.
This was Buzz off. I think the character's name, but he was like a yellow jacket or something.
Yeah, they're like on wave 4 and 5 now.
Yeah.
Because
I also had the new
and Orko.
He-Man Revelation. So this Skeletor, she looked pretty sinister. You know, Netflix did that He-Man look kind of the cartoonish look a little childlike.
Yeah.
I watched like maybe the first episode when it came back, and I haven't watched anything since. It's just I can't get
you do know they're doing a second. Kevin Smith is doing a second one.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Resolution or
Revelations.
Revelations.
Yeah, I already heard people saying this, so they're going to call it the Tila.
I think it's funny because as much as geeks and gamers are like, it's failed, nobody loves it, yet they're doing a second one. So
to me, it wasn't bad. I mean, I've seen worse.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I liked it too. I've seen worse. Now, was the storyline as strong as the original? No, but the storyline. But see, this is what pisses me off with YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers complain they're using the same thing over and over and over. They're not doing nothing different. They give you something totally different, and you still bitching. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
But that's fandom no matter what.
Yeah.
You get it with Marvel, you get it with Star Wars, you get it with fucking everything. We're getting our Obi-Wan show. And then when it comes out, I don't like it.
Oh, well, the same thing with Star Wars. When Force Awakens came out, it's just a rehash of A New Hope. Last Jedi comes out, completely different original story. Oh, this sucks. What? You're
this ain't Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want?
What? Please.
Every fucking body. You can't, because people are bitching about fucking No Way Home and Doctor Strange and, of course, Thor. Yeah, I can understand why Thor, but but the thing is, they're bitching about this whole phase because I feel got spoiled. Fans got spoiled with how Infinity War and Endgame was. And then now everything is just not living up to what that was because they're restarting over. But these fans are what ruining.
Facts.
They really are ruining shit.
They are.
And I think, like, even with the Black Panther leaks, okay, if you give away the whole fucking story right now, when I come November, I'm not going to be fucking surprised by anything. The fans would be cheering if they didn't think that they're going to see Dr. Doom in the end credit trailer, and then all of a sudden he pops up. You would hear the whole theater cheer. Now,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Phase 4 has been awful at all. I don't think it's been awful at all. I just don't see the direction they're going.
It's directionless.
I wouldn't use awful, but I would use underwhelming.
I would say underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
But people are like, oh, Marvel's losing it, blah, 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 blah. It's like, motherfuckers, you just got done with the season finale of 3 phases. Of course this shit they gotta build it back up again, people.
I think, and I could be wrong, I could be totally off, but this is my opinion. I think that Bob Iger let Kevin Feige did more, hey man, just make it work, do whatever, I think this Chapek guy, I think he's more hands-on and trying to dabble with stuff that he don't know about when it comes to the MCU and movie side of stuff.
So I know this for a fact because I have insiders in this, right? I know people on the inside that knows this. It's not that Chapek is more hands-on. Chapek hired a bunch of his business friends to run everything. So Kevin Feige doesn't have control anymore. In fact, Bob Chapek, they told Taika Waititi his movie had to come in under 2 hours.
And he had 4 hours worth of footage, apparently.
Yeah.
And Lena Headey was supposed to be in there.
I think Taika Waititi is the wrong type of director for serious characters in the MCU. And Thor's supposed to be more serious. He's supposed to be more serious than what they portraying him to be. He was never that buffoonish in the comics that I've read. And he wasn't that buffoonish in the first Avengers and stuff. But now that he's like comic relief now. And I just think Taika Waititi's style of directing isn't conducive to really showcase the like he should be. They need to get somebody else.
I don't disagree with you, but I can see why Taika did it because they made Ragnarok very funny.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money, so it's like, okay, we're gonna do more of that.
Sometimes you can't create lightning in a bottle twice.
I agree. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's the same situation.
No, look at this phase right here. Is right now compared to the like you said, the culmination of the first 3 phases. This is very, very slow. So I think you have to keep your fingers on the pulse of the fans to keep their interest because fans they'll lose interest in a heartbeat. So I don't want Kevin Feige to lose the heat that he's worked so hard to get.
Kevin Feige, I heard right now doesn't care. Kevin Feige is stepping down as soon as his contract's over.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, Kevin Feige stepping down as soon as his contract's over.
MCU's fucked
because Bob Chapek took his power away. Like Kevin Feige used to have final say on everything.
Well, hopefully he'll go to doggone WB then. And breathe some life in their ass.
Mad 1306 said
he'll have a job, guaranteed.
Oh yeah,
you guarantee WB gonna pull up.
I didn't say if not WB, then Sony. Let's go.
One of them two are gonna pull up that truck and say, "Here, come to us, please."
Mad 1306 said in the comic store was Galactus Herald. Eddie Brock's son is the new Venom. Noel was killed by Eddie Brock, and he is the new king of the symbiote. And dude, it's like you just spoke Japanese to me.
I've never heard of Thor being Galactus' Herald. Never heard of
No, he said that this is going on in the comics right now.
Oh, okay.
And I lost track. On all of that. I don't even care. They had a comic book there called Venom Forever, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Or not Venom Forever, Carnage Forever.
Yeah,
like I don't care.
Carnage. I got the Venom and Carnage ones that I know and I like, and I got a video going to come out on this as well, about the whole fandom and everything, because Rob, you're like me. We know Venom and Carnage. We know what Venom and Carnage should be.
Yeah.
You know, what we got in our movies and those movies is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage.
The facts.
We're not sitting there writing fucking letters, creating hashtag cancel Venom, cancel Carnage. You know, we're not doing that shit. But yet you got these dumbass people out there that's doing that shit. That's why I said they're the ones that are ruining this shit for us.
Mm-hmm. There is, look, I'm going to be honest. There's a reason I don't rank the MCU on my channel. There's a reason I don't do a top 10 MCU films on my channel. There's a reason I don't rank Star Wars on my channel. Because I ain't dealing with the bullshit. And I know if I rank Star Wars just based on my hot takes, dude, that's YouTube suicide for me. So,
well, it's different when you're doing a ranking.
Just gonna tell you, episode 2 is high.
Adam, it's different when you're doing your ranking because that is your opinion. That is what you
exactly.
prefer.
Most fans say the episode
stating you're just wanting to get out there to the public. Okay, this is where I feel, you know, to me, where these movies place. You know, you're not sitting there saying, "Oh, you need to be listening to this. This is the #1 movie."
Oh, no, that's the thing. I don't do. Yeah, no, I don't do that. That's the point. And like the thing is, if I was to do it, okay, I know all I would get is shit. Oh, you're wrong. You're a fucking idiot. You don't fucking know this shit. Like you're a fake Star Wars fan. Like, dude, I don't need that negativity in my life. I got a kid coming in 2 months. I don't need this shit.
You get attacking your top 5.
I was gonna say, you hear how much me and Rob get shit for Amazing Spider-Man 2 as our favorite Spider-Man movie.
But I think the point Chris is trying to make is we hate the Venom movies because to us they bastardize the character. Right?
But you said you hated it and called it a day. You didn't fucking.
We're not harassing
exactly
circus. And we're not harassing the directors and stuff. Where everybody else, if something don't work, like oh my god, look at this woke ass shit, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you know all this shit. You know, like that's the thing. We come on here, we bitch about it, we do a video on it, we move on, man. It's like I'm not about to harass people for it.
Fucking Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is a jackass. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out. Like I tried watching one of his videos on Obi-Wan Kenobi, Dude, I got like a minute in. I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this fucking jerk off. I'm done. I can't.
But here's the thing with them. They are so obnoxious. I wonder how much of that they're actually faking, though.
Yeah, like you gotta wonder, like, are they doing this just for the fucking appeal and the subscribers? Because they know that there's those assholes out there.
Yeah. I believe they feel a certain way, but I think they just ham it up a little bit more. So they're taking what they feel, but they're hamming up a little bit more. I mean, hey, I unsubscribe to all them guys. I don't care. But yeah, I say what I say, and that's pretty much it. If I was gonna do a Star Wars ranking, it would piss off a lot of people because Last Jedi would probably be like number 2 or number 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just my thoughts on it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Dude, I'd honestly have episode 2 at like number 6 or 7, so like I would get a lot of shit for that.
I love Attack of the Clones.
I do too. I've always liked Attack of the Clones. I don't know what the fuck people like, and even people who bitch about the romance is a very fucking small part of that movie. It's maybe 15 to 20 minutes of an over 2-hour film. So I don't get it.
The biggest haters I can't stand right now are the WB ones. The ones that are pushing the fucking Snyderverse shit.
That
they are the worst to me.
Like honestly, here's the thing. Okay, I'm not one of these guys going #restore the Snyderverse, all that shit. Okay, because I know it's not going to happen. As much as I would like to see that, I'm not going to be harassing fucking WB to do that shit. Okay, I am glad we got the Snyder cut. That was enough for me. Snyder got to release his vision the way he wanted it. I'm pleased. That's all I wanted.
I looked at it this way.
I'm at peace.
WB or AT&T, whoever came up with a decision to let him do his 4-hour cut of the Snyder, they didn't have to let him do that.
They didn't.
They let him do that, and he was able to finish his trilogy. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's just call it a day. Stop harassing. They're not gonna do the Snyderverse.
That was a
they need to move on. They need to move on. At this point right now, get that, those visions out of your head. Let's start anew. Let's recast.
But Zaslav literally came into this company and went, "Oh dear God, what the fuck did I just inherit?"
Danny, what were you gonna say before all that?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying that was Zack Snyder's blessing, because that usually doesn't happen in this society.
Yeah.
You give a chance to do that, and I think it's fantastic. I'm not gonna put the word masterpiece on it, but I definitely like it so much better than the theatrical. Even though it's 4 hours, I would go see it again. So I definitely think,
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece either. It's so much better than what we got. I just rewatched that like 2-3 weeks ago because we were going through the DCEU with Tiff. And dude, like, I understand.
Week to watch that damn movie.
I'll never watch it again. That's the second time I watched it. I would never watch it.
It does.
I watched it. That's my second time. I'll never watch it again because there's no reason for me to watch it again.
To me, I'm sorry, right away.
No. Oh, I was gonna say the reason why it was 4 hours because it was his last shot to do everything that he wanted.
Yeah.
So I can see why it was that long. Go ahead, Danny.
To me, to call a comic book movie a masterpiece, I think it's just a little bit ludicrous. The only masterpiece movie I think of any comic book I've ever
that's
seen.
Right.
Damn right, Watchmen.
I was going with Infinity Wars is the closest thing to a masterpiece that I'm going to say. A masterpiece, in my opinion, is Stephen King's Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile.
That's what I consider masterpieces.
Those are masterpieces.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with Shawshank Redemption. I can't find one aspect of that movie I didn't like.
I can.
What?
Okay, so when he went through the hole and put the poster up, how did he put the poster back up from inside the hole?
I think he
had how did he put it so tight that a rock could smash through it?
That's nitpicky.
Oh, we got him now, boys.
I'm giving that a pass. That movie gets an A+.
That's nitpicky shit. I'm just
Matt 1306. Also 5-minute warning. Matt 1306 says Netflix has already cast Yusuke and Kurama. Here's the thing, bro. I had a rough week this week. A lot of really bad
stuff
happened this week.
This poor bastard. Okay? Bastard.
If you see me rocking in my chair, it's because my ass hurts from being raped so much. They need to stop taking my childhood and trying to make that shit live action because it just doesn't work. Cowboy Bebop sucked. They bastardized Resident Evil.
They bastardized Death Note.
Well, I never watched that, so I don't have like that connection to it.
They ruined it, Rob. Ruined it.
You got Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon Ball Evolution. And they got the Last Airbender series coming out. I have no faith in that either. Leave Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho should not be here. Breaking news, everybody. Not everything is meant to be live action. So the reason why you go ahead
would be against a live action Sailor Moon.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Well, dude, in all fairness, in Sailor Moon, all those girls are technically 14. So if there was a live action version, we'd all be registered fucking sex offenders. Let's be fucking fair about this.
They gotta never watch.
They make them like 24.
Back in the day when Adam first moved to Florida and me and Adam used to go to like midnight releases of movies, we used to pitch a live action Sailor Moon movie.
Oh, we did, yeah. Like we would go back and forth, like what we would do and shit.
But here's the thing.
That was fun.
They think, okay, if Netflix would do a live action Sailor Moon, they would make all the Sailor Scouts Asian. Just because it's from Japan doesn't mean they're all Asian. You're not going to tell me that Serena, Sailor Moon, is Asian. There is no such thing as a blonde Asian, okay? Right? So they do things because in Cowboy Bebop, right? They make characters Asian. Like Spike does not feel like he should be an Asian character. It's neither here nor there. I'm just saying not everything needs to be adapted to live action. You look at the last Dragon Ball Z movie that came out, the Broly movie, it was animated and it made tons of money in the theaters.
Yeah.
Just keep the reason why anime exists is anime because it works in that form. Anime is very hard to adapt to live. It's different than comic books because anime takes comics and it's more crazier, you know? It's like I don't see a bunch of Sailor Scouts with the power of Moon and all this shit working in live action.
No. And well, here's the thing. Like there was that I don't know if you guys remember the fucking Ghost in the Shell controversy. Okay, because like here's the thing. I love that movie. I thought they did a great job with that film.
Thought it was a good movie.
But here's the thing. When Scarlett Johansson was fucking casted, everyone was bitching up a storm. They showed it to people in Japan. Like they went to random people in Japan on the streets and showed that she was casted. They were like, yeah, that's a great idea. We love that.
Yeah.
Okay? Like people here are bitching over nothing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People are bitching, but the people that actually post a bother, they don't give a shit.
Exactly.
And they actually had to go in and explain why she was white in the movie. It's like, really, why do you have to explain it?
You didn't have to do that.
The best anime adaptation that there is, and I believe ever will be, is Alita Battle Angel.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely fucking correct. Absolutely fucking correct.
That is the best manga and anime adaptation. And you know what? It didn't make money. There's a reason why these anime properties
neither did Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
So why would you do these cheap ass Netflix knockoffs?
Because they would have to rape it too much to make money. They had to change up so much stuff that would piss off the purists. So you're right. I'm telling you, when I saw Shang-Chi, I saw shades of Dragon Ball Z. I saw it. I was like, man, that's Kamehameha right there.
If they get the right director and the right studio, they can do it, but not a live action show. They can't do a live action show. What's up, Chris?
Well, I go back to fans ruin franchises.
You're not wrong. You're right.
That's why.
Some fans, not all fans.
Oh,
no, not all.
No, hold on, Fonzie. The Rurouni Kenshin movies kick ass. Like I have all of them right over there. The Rurouni Kenshin movies, but they are made in Japan, right? They're not American studios doing their interpretation of what Rurouni Kenshin is, and they're not series. Look at the Cowboy Bebop series. Cowboy Bebop, for the most part, is a pretty easy series to do, and they got it all fucked up. Fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, you're going to the afterlife and back. You're fighting spirit demons and all this shit. How are you going to do that on a Netflix budget?
Yeah.
Well, I want to see some studio take on and try and get another swing at the bat for Dragon Ball Z. I want to see that.
The only way I would even give it a shot is it would have. Well, Disney's talking about it. From there's rumors that Disney's throwing the idea around. I don't believe that idea at all because Disney owns Fox and Fox had the rights.
Fucking Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, but
imagine her producing a Dragon Ball movie.
It'd be depending on who they got directors. They got the Russo brothers. I would have a lot more fun.
Hey, Rob. Remember the Kamehameha is female.
The only person I want to see if they do a Dragon Ball Z movie, the only person I want to see direct it is Zack Snyder. I think he's the only person that can visually get that right.
Why? Because we got it in Man of Steel, right?
I totally just affirmed that looked like Rorschach.
You look at well, here's example. Sucker Punch might not be a good movie, but that is a live action anime come to life. Right? Imagine what we'd have if he had the source material of a Dragon Ball or something like that.
Yeah,
and he does something on the scale of the Snyder cut.
And it looks like the 300 too?
Yeah. He can do it. He's one of the visual directors that I believe can actually do it. But there's going to have to be a studio that gives him the money and let him have full reign to do it.
Shit, they'd have to give him about $200 million budget just to do it right like we want to see it.
I'll tell you what, if Zack Snyder was able to do the Android saga, and you see that post-apocalyptic world of the Snyderverse where evil Superman's killing everything, substitute that with Android 18 and 17. Dude, that would look fucking dope.
Oh, God. Hell, too, man. Goddamn. Oh.
I want now.
Come on, Zack Snyder.
That was the greatest pitch of all time. I want it now.
Here is Zack Snyder. Become one with Dragon Ball.
I'm not even the biggest Snyder fan, but if I'm going through my head of all the directors, visually, he's the only one I think that could pull it off.
And could you see Zack Snyder doing Goku becoming a Super Saiyan the first time? That transformation would be fucking unreal, buddy.
Yeah.
God, I can see that now.
Yeah. I think Robert Rodriguez can do it too, because I seen what he did with Alita. But he can't do it on that kind of budget that he did.
Oh, no.
How about Ron Howard's daughter? She's pretty good.
No, she's
Bryce Dallas Howard. Not that. No, she doesn't have that style. She doesn't have her own style yet.
Yeah, she's only directed a couple Disney Plus episodes. She hasn't directed a full-length movie yet.
Yeah,
especially nothing that heavy with special effects and fighting. Now, if
Russo brothers, you think they can do it?
I would take the Shang-Chi director over the Russo brothers.
How about the people that did The Matrix?
No, I don't want the Wachowskis. I don't want them to direct anything.
I've seen Speed Racer. No.
Yeah, they directed some of my favorite movies. I'm talking about
Cloud Atlas was the shit.
They do V for Vendetta.
Yeah, they wrote the screenplay for it. Yeah.
So they did some of my favorite stuff. I just don't see them doing. I seen Jupiter's Ascending. I don't need to.
Yeah, I saw Matrix Resurrections. Yeah. Oh, kill me! Oh, kill me now!
Okay, this is gonna be the last super chat, and we got to go because I got to go to my Storm Nation stream.
Okay.
If anybody wants to join, I'll put the link in the Storm Nation stream. Did y'all see the Legend Dragon Ball Tale? I seen the fan made thing. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either.
Although I have been on a Dragon Ball kick lately. Tiffany took me to Super Saiyan today. The Dragon Ball themed ramen shop in Orlando. That was the first time I ever been there. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So then I got home and then I started watching some Dragon Ball Z episodes.
I watched some on YouTube today too, man. It's fantastic. I watched when Nappa and Vegeta first came and Goku fought him for the first time.
Yeah.
Vegeta, remember the Bug Planet?
I think on my gaming channel, I'm going to start reviewing some of the Dragon Ball Z games. I have a lot of the Japanese imports.
What does that scouter say? 9,000.
Over 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
I want that shirt. I got to find that shirt somewhere.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and head out. You can follow Danny at Comic Chat on YouTube. You can follow Chris at CGH1 on YouTube. Adam at Filmmaster Adam on YouTube. I wanted to talk about the Monsters trailer, but we'll say that for another time. Maybe at
oh shit, I forgot about that. Damn it!
I haven't even seen it.
You're not missing much. I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
I did in the private chat. I did put the link to the Storm Nation stream. So if you guys want to come over, you can. If not, it's cool. But we're gonna go ahead and end it. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.
Later.